You know, there is one thing that can make armies around the world go crazy in seconds. Not about a comeback, not about a new song teaser, not even about a concert, but just one photo. Yes, one photo. One mysterious upload from Taehyung, aka the BTS, on Weverse was enough to turn the fandom world upside down. But really, what's behind that photo? And why would such an ordinary photo make such a big splash? It's not just about these visuals, which are already absurd. It's deeper, more symbolic, and could be a code. Let's talk about it slowly, so that it all comes together. So, a few days ago, Weverse was suddenly busy. Not because of a promotion schedule notification, not because of an impromptu live from a BTS member, but because he, silently, without a caption, without an explanation, uploaded a photo that made everyone think hard. As you can imagine, the photo just shows the silhouette of V sitting alone in a chair, with minimal lighting, almost looking like a film or scene. No glittery filters, no sweet writing like usual. Instead, there is a dark atmosphere full of meaning and makes many people feel this is not just an ordinary photo. So, why are armies excited? First, Taehyung is not the type of idol who just uploads. Every post he makes on Weverse or Instagram usually has a strong artistic element. He doesn't just post to show off his style. Taehyung always has a hidden intention and message in his visuals. If you've been following him for a while, you'll understand. He likes to code symbols through visuals, whether it's color tones, camera angles, or even the facial expressions he shows. This photo, it's not just mysterious, it's like a confession. Many have said it's like a metaphor for his feelings during his military service. Sitting alone, surrounded by darkness, but still exuding charisma and a stern aura. Some fans even compared it to a contemporary artwork in the style of a European movie. No wonder Taehyung is an art lover. He knows how to convey meaning through silence. But if we want to get into deeper theories, we have to discuss the context. Taehyung is currently in the military, and we know that he's not the type to appear in public often when he's off stage. V is an introverted artist. He doesn't like to talk too much, but he always talks through pictures and gestures. And this post can be described as a silent scream. From the perspective of visual psychology, the photo falls into the category of low-key portraiture, a visual style often used to convey deep emotions such as loneliness, self-reflection, or even inner distress. The dark colors, the shadows that cover parts of the face, and the posture that is not frontal to the camera, they are not accidental. It's V's way of expressing his inner world without a single word. And make no mistake, ARMY didn't just look at the photo and scroll. They started theorizing, analyzing, and some even linked this to a poem V wrote in 2020. Can you imagine? One photo, one post, parsed like a detective novel. Well, this is where it starts to get hot. Some armies believe that this is not just an emotional expression. Some say this is a hidden teaser for his second solo project. Do you remember when V wanted to debut the Layover album? Previously, he also gave many clues through random photos. Well, the current photo is considered a code. Some say the sitting position is similar to one of the concept photos in Layover, but in a darker and quieter version. There are also those who associate it with classical music. Some fans noticed that the feel of the photo resembled a 70s jazz or neo-soul album cover. V did say that he was interested in working on a vintage jazz-themed album. So, is this the beginning of a new era? Not quite there. Someone dug into the metadata of the photo. Seriously, this is no joke. They checked the data of when the photo was taken, and it turns out there are indications that the photo has been stored for a long time. So the theory goes, V deliberately waited for the right moment to upload it. But why now? If you pay attention, although V seems mysterious and sometimes unpredictable, he has one constant habit. He always gives personal messages to ARMY, but not in the form of long captions or notes. Instead, she prefers subtle and symbolic methods. In this post, it could be his way of saying, I'm fine, but I'm also thinking a lot. We know that the draft is not easy, and for someone as artistic as V, the limitations on expression during the military can be very photo might be his way of taking a quick breather amidst the silence of military life. But wait a minute, the story isn't over yet. Because after the photo was uploaded, there was one interesting phenomenon that strangely enough always happens whenever V shows his mysterious side. Namely, a mass movement of fans in the form of an interpreting storm. This is nothing new, but the domino effect this time is much deeper. There was one small detail that many people missed. The time of the upload. Taehyung posted the photo right in the midnight hours of Korean time. This is important, because in the art world, the time of publication is also part of the message. V often uses quiet times to convey emotionally noisy things. When people are sleeping, he gives visuals that keep people's heads awake. Some Korean armies even said it was an intimate time, the most personal time to say something without the distraction of hustle and bustle. And this is further reinforced by one other fact. There are no captions. Zero. Empty. Usually, other idols, if not intentional, would add random captions, emojis, or even just. But V, he knows that captions can limit interpretation. And because he wants everyone to have their own interpretation, he intentionally leaves that space blank. Smart, right? Well, from here we can also draw a line back to V's communication patterns over the years. Do you remember when he made the log of 2022, which was just him watching a silent movie while having coffee at night? It wasn't just a video aesthetic. It was a quiet but biting form of communication. And the current photo is technically an extension of that Taehyung language. A language that doesn't need words, but makes us all think hard. Don't get me wrong. Although V seems distant or cold in this post, he's actually showing the most honest form of his feelings. It's not tacky affection. It's not cheap fan service. Instead, it's a mature form of closeness. Because he believes ARMY can understand without the need to explain it frontally. And this is where an interesting thread emerges. The photo is like a door to V's mental space. It may be quiet, it may be dark, but that doesn't mean it's empty. Quite the opposite. Full of things that can't be written down. Many armies say that they feel closer to Taehyung through that one picture than hundreds of other idols' posts that are just selfies and funny emojis. Because emotional closeness is not about quantity, but quality of expression. So now, we're in this position staring at one photo, spinning through the possibilities. And even though V didn't say a word, we all know there's something he wants to say. Whether it's a sense of longing, inner pressure, or maybe a signal that something is being quietly prepared from behind the military world. And it could be, if you're sensitive enough, it's the beginning of a